Good evening, everybody. It's Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather. Tonight's topic is of an incredibly sensitive nature. Now, we're going to do our very, very best to be as professional and as I would say clear and concise as we possibly can without trying to offend anybody. And we know that that's going to be incredibly difficult tonight. That being said, we like to have everybody make sure that they try to do the same in the chat as well. And we're going to try our very best to keep this focused on Ohio State athletics as far as the involvement of Les Wexner with the athletic department. So that being said, enjoy the show, and we will be with you in just 1 minute. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday evening discussion round table show. I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather, and you are you. We're thankful you decided to join us this evening. Make sure you smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're watching this or listening to this after the fact. We appreciate you doing so. Please consider giving us a 5-star review if you're listening to this on your podcast device of choice. Tonight's episode is brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. If you have a loved one who's recovering from a recent hospitalization, maybe they had a stroke or they fell, maybe possibly living with dementia, and they need some support at home, A Place at Home Dublin provides that home care supportive services that your loved one needs. Medication reminders, mobility assistance, just help around the house doing daily things like dressing, bathing, things of that nature. Give them a call at 740-472-8181 or visit their website, aplaceathome.com/Dublin. Again, aplaceathome.com/Dublin or call 740-472-8181. Joining me this evening, he's the grumpy cat, as Mika likes to call him. He's the wild man in my book. What's up, Chris?
Not a whole lot, Eric. How's it going?
It's going all right, man. Also joining us this evening is Corey. Welcome to the show again this evening, Corey.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure having you. And Buckeye Bart's with us again. How about them Buckeyes in basketball, buddy?
Yeah. Well, they tried and tried again, but came up short. But good to be here tonight.
Yep. All right. So here's the deal tonight, guys. Discretion. Use your discretion tonight. This is a very sensitive topic, but it's a topic that needs to be discussed and covered. Now, we're going to do so from the perspective of Ohio State fans and from the perspective of the football program and athletic department. None of us up here are privy to all the information. We can't even begin to sit here and try to decipher all the information and what is known in the files that have been released and what's not known, etc., and the deposition that's being brought forth by senators and things of this nature. I think it's pretty clear, all four of us on this panel would agree, that if there were tragic abuses that had taken place, and obviously there have been, that we are supportive of each and every single one of those individuals who has been abused, and our hearts break for them. Our prayers and our thoughts go out to them, And of course, we would like to see justice for each and every single one of those people as well. I do not believe in burying my head in the sand, and just acting like there's not some kind of issue. And nor have I ever sat here and said that Ohio State is completely innocent in anything. They are not. We've been found guilty many times of breaking rules. Um, we've had doctors do unspeakable things to athletes before. Um, and I pray that somehow that will be rectified, for those individuals that are seeking those justification for their lawsuits. But this is something now. This is a story that has just grabbed the attention of our country, and now it has seeped into the pores of Ohio State because of who the man is, what his name is, what that name represents, and how that name is placed on s- several buildings in and around campus. So that is what we're going to try to tackle tonight, is the issue of Les Wexner with the athletic department, how we as Ohio State fans should look at it, what the athletic department is doing, and what we might see the athletic department do, and how will that affect the finances of our athletic department. Because I think there's a lot of falsehoods being thrown out there, a lot of them by Michigan fans that believe that we are losing, as it was put, quote unquote, your cash cow for NIL, and that couldn't be further from the truth. But there is a very large philanthropy side of the medical wing of Ohio State that is indeed going to be affected by this, um, big time. And so, again, I don't have all the answers to that, but we're going to look at it from an athletic department perspective. And so, here we go. I asked 3 questions tonight. These were 3 questions that I asked an individual who I will not mention or let you know who it is, nor do I want anybody in the chat to even speculate who this person is. But I asked 3 questions of this individual, and this individual gave me some very good answers. My first question was, how much did Wexner actually contribute to Ohio State football's NIL? Again, direct question based off a direct statement from several Michigan fans who are trying to throw shade at Ohio State given the situation. Here's the first answer that was given to me. I will read the answer, then I will let you guys respond to the answer. He said there's no credible evidence that Les Wexner has specifically funded Ohio State football's name, image, and likeness or any deals thereof. Public donation records and reporting show that Wexner has been a major donor to Ohio State overall, with personal and foundation giving exceeding $200 million over decades. His largest gifts, a historic $100 million funding commitment announcement in 2011, was directed towards the Ohio State Medical Center cancer research, arts programs, and broad university initiatives, not specifically to football or NIL funds. And if you drive down 315 and you go past Ohio Stadium and you look to your left, there is a huge, ginormous new building over at OSU Medical Hospital. And right at the top of it has the last name Wexner on it. Okay. Now, he says Les Wexner Football Complex name, often discussed in the media, actually stems from a $5 million combined donation in 2007 from Wexner's charitable funds and his wife. And it was not directly towards NIL funding. So, and then he goes on to say there is no official OSU statement or verified reporting showing Wexner directly underwrote student athlete NIL compensation funds anywhere. Your response, Chris.
Uh, my response is it is typical deflection by the people from the team up north because you said it. Les and Abigail Wexner, there's nothing showing that they donated to the collectives or to the school directly for NIL. You know, you talked about it. He's donated nearly $250 million, but that's been to the medical center. It's been to the arts center, which both bear his name. It's been to other university initiatives, but not to NIL. And as far as the football complex itself and that $5 million gift, um, we'll come up later on whether that name should remain on that building or not. However, this much I do know: there is no actual contract binding the name to that building. So this wasn't a payment for the building. It was named uh, for the donation, but it wasn't a binding contract that they bought their name onto the building. So as far as the NIL activity, this is not going to be an issue towards Ohio State's NIL. This is something where I think that we've got guys like Carter, we've got guys like our athletic director who are out there. They've gotten in front of this as far as that was the moves. I think part of the moves they made bring the NIL in house was to avoid being connected specifically to one deep pocketed benefactor. So to me, I think that it's ridiculous to think that Wexner is tied to the football program and there's no paper trail, there's no money trail, nothing at all that connects Wexner to this program. So again, I think it's just more fluff from the morons to the north who are trying to deflect the issues that they've got going on in their own house.
Corey?
For the life of me, I'll never understand why we give as Caden would say, to what the people north think about anything ever. I don't even care if they say the sky's blue. I don't care what they say about anything, whether it's true, false, misleading. They got one of the most corrupt programs in NCAA history, and it isn't just a cheating scandal. It's just thing after thing after thing after thing with them. They have no moral high ground to stand on, whatever you think about the Wexner situation. So for them to come after us about allegedly his money because he's a billionaire affecting the football program when they know nothing about it, they just want to talk. Who cares? They're Michigan fans. I mean, it's already miserable to be them in the first place, so let them be miserable. But I don't know. I guess as I get older, I used to like to argue with them, and I used to like to debate them and debunk their crap, and I've just gotten to the point now where I just don't care. They're useless. They're oftentimes dumb as a box of rocks. They don't know anything. They speak without any knowledge. They're ignorant. They're ignoramuses. They enjoy living in the swamp. They enjoy living in the mud because they have nothing better. And I couldn't begin to care less what they think about literally anything.
No, I mean I have to agree with Corey there. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the end of the day, and don't want to bring politics into it, but you look at Democrats and Republicans on each side, they have their mind made up. You're not no logic, no talking is going to say, "Oh, okay, I see your side to it." That's the reason our country's in this because nobody wants to listen or even acknowledge that there's something wrong or something good with a program. And let's just say 95 to 99% of the fans out there don't know where NIL comes from, nor do they care. We could always say, hey, Mark Cuban is funding all of Indiana. Do I know that? No, but that's where my mind goes. Um, so if he is or he isn't, and obviously it doesn't look like he is, I don't know where our NIL comes from. But I trust our departments to get that. But you have to diversify when it comes to NIL too, because if you just want one person to do it and something happens, you have to fall back on something. But um, I don't like it when they just assume. But that's what we do as human beings. We assume all the time, and it gets us in trouble.
Indeed, it does. When it comes to NIL and where it comes from, obviously, in order to stay competitive in this football era, you have to have people with some deep pockets funding your program. That's reality. That's not, excuses. Excuse me for being, calling the kettle black. But Indiana does not succeed if they didn't have some deep pockets to go out and buy Kurt Signetti and keep him there. Okay. And by the way, the NIL for the players and some of the players that they won a national championship with as well. When we are being told that Ohio State is top 5 when it comes to NIL health, when compared to other schools around the country. Now I find that a little hard to believe, a little hard to believe, but I still think that Ohio State is indeed a healthy program when it comes to NIL, regardless of whether we're top 5, top 10, top 15, etc. That being said, I also think that where the NIL comes from is indeed important. I don't want it coming from a place of unsavory, to find a lack of a better term, unsavory genesis, if you will. So that being said, it is good to know that the health of Ohio State's NIL is not dependent on Les Wexner or his deep pockets. It's not. That has been made perfectly clear by individuals who know where the money is coming from NIL. So that is good to know from my perspective. All right. Question number 2. If he did contribute, what will Ohio State's plan be to make up the difference in lost NIL income? So this is kind of a mute question, since question number 1 was basically he's not a significant donor. But here's his answer. Because Wexner hasn't publicly been confirmed as a direct NIL funder, there isn't an official quote-unquote gap that needs to be filled specifically because of his funding being removed. NIL money at major programs typically comes from third-party collectives, boosters, companies, endorsements, and alumni donors, not from lump sum gifts tied to specific named donors. OSU does not publicly list Wexner as a direct NIL contributor. He has given indirectly through board gifts that happen to touch athletics, which is why you see his name there up on the scoreboard and over at the facility. But those funds haven't been disclosed in an official budget. Because of that, there are no stated internal OSU plans around replacing Wexner's NIL funds because they're not worried about it. OSU athletic and NIL funding strategies remain tied to collective giving and endorsement deals, not tied to Wexner's university gifts. In other words, there's no documented lost NIL income attributed to Wexner that has said it needs to be recouped. And then let me go back and underline this again. NIL funding strategies remain tied to collective giving and endorsement deals, not to Wexner's university gifts. Chris.
Yeah, again, you said it, Eric. It's a moot point because, Wexner was not a big donor, obviously. But even if he were, I think that Buckeye Sports Group, I think that the foundation, they've already talked about the fact of the health of the NIL and how they actually have a plan that would overcome this by attacking small and mid-sized boosters at a higher level, attacking for more endorsement deals. And you talk about Bjork and Carter getting out in front of this, and I think they realize that the model that we're seeing, this booster arms race, if you will, that we are seeing in college football, it's not going to be sustainable. I mean, it's going to be sustainable for a while with companies like Nike, but how long can one or two people just continue to give 40, 50, $100 million to a program every single year to keep them relevant? it's not sustainable over decades, a decades long thing. So I think that Ohio State is in front of this. They've got a plan for this. Um, a plan I think we were largely critical of, not understanding what was going on in the beginning, but a plan I think is going to be, you know, so it's going to be successful in the long run. So, not worried at all. Not worried one bit.
Um, yeah, I'm not worried at all either. And quite frankly, Wexner's been getting criticism not as heavily as late, but as early as 2021, 22. Ohio State's known about the friendship that they had, and the census and news is blown up. There's no way they had. If he was such a big contributor, there's no way that the intelligent minds we have in those offices didn't plan for this. And this is starting to, and this was the criticism was coming just as NIL was starting to become more and more prevalent in the early 2020s. So I just don't believe that Ohio State would just go blindly and just say, yeah, whatever, nothing's going to happen. They're such a strategic program. I almost said organization, but they kind of are an organization now. And they have brilliant minds in charge of it. That's why they've been the most steady program for the last 30 years. So I have no doubt in my mind that if even if he was a contributor, which we've just said he's not, but even if he was, they've planned ahead for this publicity storm. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Ohio State usually handles these situations pretty well overall because there's always going to be bad actors, but or alleged bad actors or whatever. But Ohio State seems to come out on the other side of it pretty well more often than not.
No, I think they're bad if they are, bad if they don't. So if you get ahead of this and say, hey, he's guilty already, let's not take any money from him, and then it turns out he's innocent. I mean, we still got to think that there hasn't been anything proven yet. And I'm not saying that he has it because, but let's not be naive though. When you're talking about the money that we're talking about now, millions and millions of dollars being spent, there's nefarious people making money all the time. Nike, what Chris says, I mean, sweatshops or whatever for kids over another country. I mean, do we just not take money? When you take money, you are taking something that probably was not great money to begin with. When you're talking about millions and millions of dollars, there was probably something wrong with that money to begin with. So where do you cross the line of taking it and not taking it? I think once you take millions of dollars, that the money is root of all evil. We all know that. So I'm not saying what Wexer is guilty or not, but if he is, completely do not take any money. Not, but you have to get ahead of this, and because public perception is number one. And if they think he's guilty right now, you cut all ties with him. Don't take any money. But then, are we judging people that we don't know know anything about? Now, I'm not going to say that he's innocent and I condone what I don't. But let's just get everything out before we start throwing people under the bus and doing this. So don't construe that as me, doing that stuff. But let's not judge people until we know the facts of what's going on.
The preacher in me can't let this go. I've got to make one correction. The love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Money itself is not evil. It's the love of it that
Yep.
causes people to do nefarious things for it.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. So I think where we're coming from in answering these first two questions are NIL's good without him. Like it was good before, and it's going to be good now, and it's good after. Don't worry about it. He really wasn't that big of an NIL contributor. Cool. All right. Excellent. Question number 3, and this one's a good one. So I asked, will they remove the excuse me? Will they remove the Wexner name from buildings? And this goes beyond athletic, complexes into the university. And if so, will they be open for business for a corporation to buy the naming rights? Right? Here's the answer given to me. No, not automatically. And they are not actually planning on removing his name at this time. Here's the current situation. over at Ohio State. There is currently a review process that is underway. Ohio State has received many formal requests from students, alumni, advocates, and others to remove Wexner's name from buildings and facilities following recent national controversies regarding his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. The university says they have an extensive university naming review procedure that allows official requests for name changes to be formally considered by a committee. OSU has not decided to sell naming rights to corporations or to auction them off at this time. There's no current plan publicly announced to monetize naming rights as a response to calls for change of any buildings with Wexner's name on them. Renaming decisions, if they happen, would come through board approval and the review process. It's not an automatic sale or up for bid. In other words, many requests for Wexner's name removal are being reviewed, but there is no confirmed decision to take his name off of buildings or replace them with corporate sponsors at this time. But I do think that we're probably in the beginning stages of possibly seeing that. Chris.
So here's like what I said before: the naming on these facilities, it was honorific, is what it was. It was not contracted. This was just an honor based upon their donations. So as far as will they rename them, I don't think they do at the moment. I think they let this play out legally and see where this comes to a head legally. If indeed he is found guilty of anything, I think they probably do at that time make the changes. But I don't think you pull the rug out from under your biggest benefactor unless you're 100% sure. Because, like you said, his money isn't going directly to the sports program. His $250 million over time has gone to the university itself, to the arts, to the medical program. And that's a lot of money to just throw away if you aren't 100% sure. So I think they hesitate on the move, but if they find that he is guilty, they're going to do the right thing. They're going to take his name down, and when they do, they will actually offer up those buildings for monetization. And their excuse or their reasoning for that at that time is, we need it to support our athletic program. They'll come out and say as much. That's how they're going to make this transition. Or they may even say it was honorific. We had no contract with them at the time. It is in the best interest of our programs at this time to move forward and rename these facilities, and offer those up for sale, basically.
This is an onion here with a lot of layers. If they do, I hope they do it for the right reason and not based on perception or public opinion. Find the facts. And it's not like I don't know Wexner. I'm not some lover of Les Wexner. I don't necessarily care for the man at all. I mean, he's never going to impact my life. If he knew of these atrocities and he, God forbid, participated in them in any way, then yes, 100%. It's proven, and it's proven. Not people believe he may have. Prove it. We have to live. We have to respect the rule of law in society. And I've said this for guys like Kobe Bryant, for Jameis Winston, for athletes Ezekiel Elliott who get all accused of things, and Gary and Conley. And I'm like, you just never know. We got to see the facts. And I don't like accusing people unless I know the facts. Um, just do it based on the facts that present themselves. He hasn't even been indicted or charged yet. We don't know anything yet. Uh, if you find out, gosh, man, evidence is overwhelming. It looks factual. He was part of this monstrosity. Look, full disclosure, one of my best friends that I thought I knew extremely well went to prison for something I had no idea he was doing. And I was at his house multiple times. I was friends with him. But it's possible you just don't know somebody. You think you know. So that's what I'm trying to put out there. But I just do it for the right reasons. Don't just cave to public pressure. Is my only caveat with that. And I agree with Chris. You got to be 100% sure, because the money he's donated, it isn't like we're sitting there saying save the football program. I mean, the arts and medicine are obviously extremely important. So you can't just throw that out because of public perception.
Yeah, but public perception is a huge thing too. I'm in government, and whatever looks bad, that's a public thing. You just don't put yourself in that position. But I have to agree with you. I mean, you got to find out what he did, how he did it, and then the morality comes in, and it's like the money that he did spend on hospitals. How many kids have been saved? How many adults have been saved without that? And that's why. Do you take the money, knowing that if you know your loved one can be saved? Do you not? Um, I think there's one way to find out, and that is to go up to Les Wexner and say, "Hey, this public perception, we want to take your name off there. We still want you to help with the hospitals and everything." And if he says no, then you know his heart's not in the right. He wants his name up there. If he doesn't, he says no, I'm okay with that. Then we know it's like great. Let's just. I still want to save lives. And we're a football. Screw the football program. Screw sports. Who cares? At the end of the day, who cares about sports? If you can save somebody's life and make a kid's life better with cancer, with that money that he's donating to that, and you could take his name off, and he is okay with that. That I will take that. I won't take him putting something in that's frivolous like football. But if it's going to a good human cause that could save my family or my friends, it's a moral line that is like really gray.
Hundreds of millions of dollars have been donated, for a lack of a better term, to save lives at Ohio State University over at OSU Medical. As a former pastor, I have spent a lot of time at OSU, praying with people and being around families in their time of need. And um, God has a way of taking what was created to do harm and using it for good. I've seen it so many times. And that very well possibly could be the case here. From a football perspective, I know Bart just said screw football, but I'm going to look at it from a football perspective here now.
Well, in the realm of things, it's tiny when you're talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing for Ohio State athletics. It causes you to remove several names from buildings that now are, for a lack of a better term, available for corporations to bid on. That can help. How are we going to fund the fencing program? How are we going to fund the rowing program? How are we going to fund the pistol program? Here's your opportunities. If you can get corporations to buy in to saying, I don't know what our facility for our rowing is, but the Olentangy River Club facility is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Great. That's what we need in order to fund these Olympic sports, since football can't do it all now. And so I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to say we're going to remove people's names from these buildings, as Chris has pointed out 2 or 3 times now, saying that these are honorary things. It's because of your donation to build the facility, we name the facility after you, which was very much a Gene Smith handshake deal with a lot of these deals. And all of a sudden, we're open for business, baby, in order to fund those. Hey, if I have a stepson right now who's playing football and lacrosse. Maybe he's not good enough to play for Ohio State for football, but if the lacrosse coach comes and says, hey, we're thinking about giving him a scholarship, and then the very next year his scholarship gets revoked because the football program can't afford it. But in comes Rawlings, who says, "Hey, we're gonna fund your entire um, lacrosse program at Ohio State." I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that this is being considered at this time. So that's my 2 cents on that. But I'm with you, Bart, that let's not be so naive and just dismiss the fact that a lot of lives have been saved over at Ohio State through research and medical things that have been brought on by donations from Wexner and his organization. Chris, do you have a follow up?
No, I mean honestly, I feel like at this point, Eric, it's got to be a big game of wait and see because Ohio State cannot afford. Well, they can't afford two things. It's kind of a double edged sword. They can't afford, as Bart said, to be seen in a bad light by the public because that could honestly hurt not just your enrollment. It could hurt your standing. It could hurt small donations coming in, but you also can't afford to act rashly and basically convict a guy uh, unjustly, especially one that is such a large donor who has done so much for the university. To me, Eric, this has got to be a wait and see, and just trust that the university, when the decision is made, is doing the right thing in the best interest of everyone involved.
And I throw my support behind Ted Carter. I've listened
Yes.
to him talk now twice. I've read about 4 articles where he was interviewed about this specific thing, and that dude has been consistent and he has been trustworthy, and he's earned my respect, and he's earned my trust that he'll do the right thing for Ohio
Yes.
State. And so I think you're right, Chris. It's okay to say, let's wait and let's listen to what President Ted Carter has to say. Because he he hasn't gotten to where he's gotten in life with the reputation he does by not making good decisions. Okay, the Top Gun 2. You know who that movie was based off of? That maneuver in that movie that they talked about. That was Ted Carter that did that. He is Top Gun. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Top Gun 2, that movie where they had to go in and fly down, and that was what he did when he was in the Air Force. So, Navy, I guess, with flying in the Navy. But yeah, the dude hasn't gotten to where he's gotten without being incredibly sharp individual. Any other thoughts before we move on? Okay. Well, you can't say we didn't cover it now. You can't say we avoided it. I've heard a lot of people say that you all don't want to talk about it. Well, there you go. We just spoke about it. We spent 44 minutes talking about it. All right, moving on to topic number 2. I have a list of names of former Buckeyes who decided to leave the program and go to other programs, and I've got their statistics from last year. There's quite an extensive list over the years that have left who played last year. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna call the game Pass or Fail. Was the decision for this player to leave Ohio State a good decision or bad decision? Was it a pass or was it a fail? All right, here we go. Name numero uno. Mitchell Melton, defensive end. He left Ohio State, went to Virginia last year. Virginia had a really good season, by the way. Last year, he ended up with 45 tackles, 10 TFLs, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, one interception, and three pass block up, pass breakups. Easy enough for me to say. Chris, pass or fail on one Mitchell Melton.
I'm going to give him a pass just because I think that he was going to be buried on this depth chart. And he got himself an opportunity to be seen. He went out and played meaningful minutes, something he did not get a chance to do at Ohio State. And he got himself seen. There's a chance that maybe now, I don't think he gets drafted, but he definitely maybe gets a free agent invite somewhere.
Corey?
Pass.
Art?
Pass. Yeah, I think I'm with Chris there. It's like, although if he does that, I think he's good enough to do this at Ohio State, and he might got more recognition. Um, but without him leaving, do we see how great Caden Curry is either? So it's a pass for him. Now you go to another place, ACC or whatever, and show what you can do. It's always better than not being able to show it at all.
Worked for Kyle McCord.
It did.
Drafted.
Yeah, it honestly did. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to another former backup quarterback here in a little bit. Chip Trayanum. Y'all remember Chip?
Yeah.
Came from Arizona State. Then he went to Kentucky. I did not know this. He transferred again this past year.
Yeah, Toledo.
And ended up at Toledo.
Yeah.
So remember, he was back up in Kentucky last year. Ends up in Toledo this year. This year at Toledo, 182 carries for 1,015 yards, 12 touchdowns, 21 receptions for 212 yards, and 2 more receiving touchdowns. Pass or fail on Chip Trayanum. You have to take into account Kentucky last year, too.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. This one's tough. I like Chip a lot. I want to say pass, but given I think it's more of a pass if he skips Kentucky and just went straight to Toledo. But you showed in a sense that you were a role player when you were at the two bigger universities and the bigger conferences, and when you went to the smaller conference, you were the hero. I'm going to give it a fail.
Oh.
I mean, Kentucky was largely injury based. And I don't know how we grade this because if they're not good enough to play at Ohio State, which Chip, at times he showed he was. Do we give him a pass because they went to a school like Toledo and succeeded and had a pretty solid year? I don't know if that's a pass or not. I don't know how to grade that because it's like you're going from Ohio State to Toledo. That's like a Ferrari to a station wagon. I don't know.
You live in Toledo. Station wagon. You went from the F1 series all the way down to a local fairground demolition derby.
And for all the Toledo Rockets fans, Corey, do you want to go ahead and give them your home address?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tell them the truth. Yeah, you're right. Toledo Rockets totally on the same plane as Ohio State. Absolutely. But anyways, I'm going to say fail based on my criteria. It's like, dude, look, if you go to Ohio State and you end up at like Virginia, for example, I think that's a pretty solid transition. That's not like you fell off a cliff, but you go to Toledo, you're not, wow, okay. And you're solid at Toledo. You're not even like, holy crap, Randy Moss at Marshall. Then I'd say fail.
I'm gonna have to give a big pass here because the criteria is: did he make the right decision? And he's going to it gets Travion Henderson coming in, and he would have not ran the ball with Travion and Quinshawn. He would have had a shot maybe this last year against Boja. I think he was a good running back but for him, it's 100% pass. I don't care if you're going to Toledo or not. You still have to hit the holes. You still have to run for 1,200 yards. They don't have the greatest offensive line. Now you're not going against greatest defensive either. But there's been a lot of great players that come out of MAC schools that are great in the NFL. Just because he's at Toledo doesn't mean that he's going to be garbage. Um, but I give him 100% pass because 1,200 yards in a season, no matter where you're at, is a good thing. I don't think he would have gotten it at Ohio State.
Um, two reasons why I think it's a fail. 4 different schools, really, and you could have had a national championship even if you were a backup if you would have stayed.
But what's the best for him?
Well,
Let me ask you this: would you rather be a backup and get a national champion, or maybe get your future better and go somewhere where you could prove yourself?
I'd give me the national championship all day long.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not going to get you to the next level.
Bart doesn't want a national championship.
It's better to beat Michigan any day of the week than have a national championship.
Here we go. That was I put that on a tee for you. Put that right on the tee, and you.
Oh yeah, I walled up and just hit that thing.
You crow hopped into that swing, didn't you, man?
Oh, I did.
Oh shoot. Ooh.
But honestly, if you want to set yourself up for the NFL, do you want to be a backup? Do you want that meaningless? I can't say meaningless, but for you, if I'm not going to contribute to something, and I get a ring, am I going to cherish that as much as if I was an actual person that played a lot? Or am I going to go somewhere I could prove myself and maybe make it to the next level? I don't think he would have done that at Ohio State.
Let's be honest.
I think the irony is this past year he probably would have played at Ohio State.
Yes.
Yeah, he probably would have, yeah.
But the championship year, probably not. And that's when the Kentucky year when he got hurt all the time. So I don't know. I mean, I look at it and say if he had stayed at Ohio State, does he end up contributing well to a playoff team this year and get him? I'd say he'd be in a better position to go pro.
I see. Thank you, Corey. Thank you. Yeah, I this one was a fail for me because I think we don't have to go get the West Virginia guy if we've got Chip on the roster. So, in my opinion, let's stay at running back. See if I can find him here. Evan Pryor. Y'all remember that name?
Oh yeah.
This past year, he was at Cincinnati, where he had 76 carries for 522 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns, 10 catches, 107 yards. He has received a 6th year of eligibility due to a knee injury that sidelined him for the entire 2022 season at Ohio State. So there's that. And then he transferred again this offseason. Do you guys know where he transferred? Anybody know without looking it up? Florida. He went to Florida.
Huh.
We just got a running back from Florida. A serious question here. Would you Jackson? Isn't that his last name?
Jacoby Jackson. Yeah.
Jacoby Jackson. Yeah. Would you rather have Jacoby Jackson from Florida, or would you rather take Evan Pryor back into this room?
I'd rather have Jacoby.
Really?
I would say Evan. I don't see a person on our team that has his ability right now with his quickness and his just scatter back. I don't think he's a lead running back whatsoever, but I don't think we have that skill set on our team. Maybe Legend Bay. I think I will take that back. Legend Bay probably has that skill set. But
and here's the other thing though, Bart. This kid's already shown he's got massive injury problems. He's had to sit out 2 years.
Yeah,
that's
so
the other
Pryor.
thing with Evan. No, that's what I'm saying with Evan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pass or fail, Chris?
I don't think it's that easy because he's got another year of eligibility and he's at a SEC school, so he's at a major program. I don't think we can label as pass or fail till we see how he does this year. Preliminary, I'd say fail if you're forcing my hand to the fire right now. However, I still think it's a wait and see until we revisit it next season.
Corey?
I agree. You kind of have to give it an eye and incomplete at the moment. If he comes out and he's a major contributor to Florida, I mean major contributor, not one of those like, oh, you had 37 carries for 300 yards or whatever, and he somehow averaged 10 yards a carry. They never played him, which indicates bigger problems. I'll say that incomplete, but so far, I'm leaning fail. But again, Bart did wake me up to something. If it's the best decision for them, that guy may not have ever contributed meaningful minutes or reps at Ohio State. So he at least got to play at Cincinnati, which then in turn led him to get to a major program like Florida. So far, I want to lean fail, but I actually got to have to lean pass based on that criteria until we see what happens this year. Though I still say incomplete.
No,
I'm trying to remember real quick, Bart. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. How high of a recruit he was? He was
he was a 4-star, I believe.
He was, a
he was
four-star, I
pretty
believe.
high, wasn't he?
We took him over Donovan Edwards. So
That doesn't seem like a bad choice.
well, Donovan clearly had a better college career than Evan Pryor's had. But Evan did get hurt, so.
Go ahead, Bart.
Oh, I would say it's a pass completely. He wasn't going to play behind, and it's just another running back. It's like you have Travion coming in, and you're not going to be the lead back. How much playing time you're going to get? And now you've got Quinchon in there. He did the best thing for him, and it's paid off. I mean, he went to Cincinnati and did some great things. He didn't have eye-popping stats, but if Florida's going to take you, like you must have some good stats that if you're going to, take a chance on a kid from Cincinnati. But I think it's a pass for him. I think it's the best decision for him.
Here's what Florida sees. 2020. What year was that? It doesn't have the year on it. He was ranked as the 7th highest best running back in the country. He was a top 5 recruit from the state of North Carolina. Was ranked 101st overall in the nation when he came out of high school.
Is he from Ohio?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
Was he with Travion? Wasn't he with Travion?
Yes, he was the same class as Travion.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Him and Travion came in together. That's right.
Good old Tony Alford.
Yeah. That was actually a good
Yeah, and they got Trey Sermon in the portal that year as well.
Yeah.
So that was a good year for.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was probably his best year ever.
Yeah.
All right. Sticking with running back, there was another running back on my list. Gosh, I have forgot this guy existed. Dallin Hayden.
All right, then it's a fail already.
Right? 70 carries for 326 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 catches, 15 yards.
Where at?
Obvious.
Colorado.
Which this was his 2nd year at Colorado. He's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. He's transferring to Memphis.
I think that's a great move for him because let me tell you, Colorado wasn't the answer. At least he wasn't the answer for Colorado. I got to give it a big fail right now until I see what he does at Memphis.
Fail.
I've got to have a pass again. It's like, what are you going to get here at Ohio State?
How could you? A national championship.
Are you kidding me?
A 3rd year. He was number 2 on the depth chart when he left, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was set up to be number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why did he leave then?
Wanted to be a starter.
He went to Colorado to be the starter,
Call
and
it
then
what
got
it was. He
and
wanted
then
the
got
bag.
passed over bad.
Okay, you changed my mind. Fail. Thank you.
He had every opportunity to be in a 2-back system at Ohio State, and he passed up on that.
Well, then that's a fail.
Yeah.
I agree with you now. So
this one is a major fail to me. I thought he was going to go to Colorado, and we were going to be like, oh my gosh, he's freaking ran for 1,500 yards. They're calling him the second coming of Rashawn Salam. There's a name for you.
Yeah, there you go.
And what did we get? He fell off the planet, man.
The planet.
Didn't Salam go to jail? Did he do something bad?
Yeah, probably.
I think he did.
I had a Salam jersey that I would wear to middle school all the time. It was in my weekly rotation, a Chicago Bears Rashawn Salam jersey.
So Eric hated himself in middle school.
Yes, hey man, it was cool. It was a cool last name.
You could have at least gone with Michael Westbrook, man.
I said middle school. I didn't say college. How young do you think I am? All right, here we go. gosh,
To Chris, everybody's young. So
That's right.
this one again, another like what happened? Gabe Powers,
Mm.
linebacker, Kansas State. This was his stats last year: 21 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss. That's it.
you see, it's hard to gauge this. I'm gonna let Chris. I'm sorry, interrupting Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Here's the thing. He still has another year left, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think we can shut the door on it being a success. Right now, I think it's a fail based on his lack of production. Clearly, he wasn't the starter there because a starter falls down and ends up with at least 60 tackles in a season at linebacker. So, you made the transfer. You thought you were going to be a starter. Clearly, you were not, unless there was injury involved, which I am not aware of. Nice guy, super nice guy. A guy we actually got to meet, Eric.
Yeah.
A super nice guy. A lot of talent. Local kid. I had a lot of hopes he was going to be playing at Ohio State. I gotta give this one a fail right now.
Well, okay, here comes into the gauging it. Maybe he just sucks. Maybe he's just not a good player. I mean, so was it a best decision for him to get out of Ohio State? Probably. We got guys like Peyton Pierce, Riley Pettijohn coming on board. They're clearly going to pass him up. So I mean, I know they didn't play in the same year, but you get my point that they were clearly more talented than what he showed, even though he had a couple of flashes in mop-up duty at Ohio State. I don't know how to gauge it. I guess it's a fail because he stinks. I don't know. But is it was it a pass or fail as far as decision making? Probably a pass, just because he wasn't going to play at Ohio State and he had to go somewhere. So I'll give it a fail just because he stinks. I'll lean that way.
But here's the question, Corey. If he's not playing at Kansas State either, wouldn't it have been better to stay at Ohio State and get yourself a ring?
Maybe.
Didn't he get a ring?
Oh, that.
But
Yeah.
there's another scenario
Last year.
Oh, he transferred last year. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
You're right.
Or did he
went out
did
last
he
year.
leave before we won? He might have left
thought he
before
did.
we won.
But we're also not considering a scenario that the coaches ask him to leave.
Well,
Which is possible. Or
I have some information on that. Bart,
Was he a 5-star?
Yeah, he was he was borderline. Yeah, he was close.
Yeah,
he was from Marysville. He was, and I'll be honest, dude. If you go and watch his game film from high school, he was unstoppable as a running back too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
He was.
I'm going Corey. It's a huge fail. Just because you can't cut it. What I consider is a pass if you go to another program and you really do good and it's the best for you. But I'm with Corey. Maybe he had all the talent in the world. He just hasn't put it together. And if you leave Ohio State and you still haven't put together at a lower program, it's a huge fail.
Actually, Matt, he was 6'4", 242.
Yeah, I was about ready to look that up. Thank you. He's a big. I know when we interviewed him, Chris, he towered over us.
Yes.
Wouldn't have bothered me if he had tried tight end, to be honest with you. But
that that's a good thought too. But but here's the thing. I was told he could never grasp Jim Knowles' defense.
Yeah.
it sounds like nobody can grasp Jim Knowles' defense, to be fair.
He really struggled with that. Yeah, dude was a physical specimen, to say the least. And
did he struggle with the defensive concept at his new school then too? Is that the reason he?
Maybe.
Like,
I haven't talked.
He may just not have instincts. He may just be full on athlete. So.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
That's a great question, Bart. And we've got a great podcast over at the College Huddle for Kansas State called Cocaine Willie. That's literally what the name of their
You got to be on cocaine to watch Kansas State. So.
Oh, these guys are absolutely awesome. They broke down for us Will Howard and just to a T, man. And they're all like, "You guys are gonna love them," and we did. All right, that was an interesting one. All right, let's. Here's another one that I was like, I had no idea this guy had more eligibility left. Patrick Gerd played for Cincinnati last year.
Who?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wait,
What do you mean who?
I exactly who?
The best porn stash on Ohio State's team, man.
I don't
He
take
came
stats
in.
on porn
He
stats.
played tight end, and they would move him back to fullback. He was the lead blocker on goal line during our national championship run, wasn't he?
Another guy 6'4", 250.
I thought Nate Roberts was.
And that was this past year. We're
Yeah,
talking year before.
I remember
don't
Mitch Rossi. I don't remember.
I don't
Patrick
remember
Reed.
him. I do not remember him.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's a fail because
Yeah.
it's 3 catches, 46 yards last year. That's it.
That's fail.
All right, we'll say
Um,
fail. Move on to the next guy because this guy, what?
This guy sucks.
All right, here's a name for you.
Joe Royer.
Andre Turrentine, safety. Went to Tennessee.
Who?
Like, let's just go through. This is like Mr. Irrelevant.
No, you guys don't remember Andre
I remember.
Turrentine?
Yeah, I remember him, but I don't care about him. So.
You should. He had 66
He had a great
tackles,
season.
1.5 tackles for loss, an interception, pass breakup.
But it's a pass.
And-
Okay, cool.
He lit.
Move on, Eric. Move on. Come on. It's a pass. Let's go. Corey's done with this BS.
It's like
Chris, save the show.
That was a big time pass. He had the opportunity. I don't think he was going to get the opportunity at Ohio State, obviously. So he went to another big time program. He had himself a great season. Yeah, that was a big time pass for him.
Yeah. This guy took his opportunity at Tennessee and ran with it. He is considered one of, if not the best returning starter on defense for the Vols next year.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have stuck it out at Ohio State,
maybe this year he gets an opportunity.
I think he would have been definitely in the 2 deep last year.
Did
For
he?
sure.
Did he play Caleb Downs' position? Was he a free
Yeah.
safety
Yes.
or-
Yeah, he's a safety, and free.
then he
So-
definitely passes because who the heck's gonna take Caleb Down's spot?
I'll tell you this much: I bet the coaching staff wishes they had him this year.
I bet the coaching staff doesn't remember who
No.
he is.
They don't, Eric.
Oh,
Because-
come on! Yes, they do.
Well,
They're-
no.
Well, actually, do they? Was it even the same coaches that were there?
It was Matty G the one who recruited him?
Yeah.
He
Well,
was-
maybe
Oh.
not.
Maybe
No,
not
probably
recruited him, but he
not
was
the one who
there.
recruited him, but he was definitely coaching him. Yeah.
Well, do they take Andre leaving and get Caleb Downs for 2 years? Do they think we regret that? Or
I think they're okay with who they
leave.
have, honestly.
if he
Yeah.
was, if he was going to stay with Caleb Downs, that's a yes, but he wouldn't have. And so they would have taken 2 years of Caleb Downs any day of the week.
Oh, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
who wouldn't? Which I can't wait to do the.
It was Kerry Combs who recruited him, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, Combs recruited him, I think.
That's a fail on Combs'
Well, here,
part.
I'll tell you.
While you're looking that up.
Andre was, let's see, he was class of 2022.
That wasn't Combs then. Yeah, it was.
He
No,
was-
hey,
yeah.
Combs was 20 and 21.
All right, here's one for you. Here we go.
Corey's
Hero
gonna freak out real quick.
Hero
Canoe.
Canoe.
Pass.
Pass.
30 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2
I'm
sacks.
pissed he left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We
Would
could
he have-
really
would-
use him.
and
Yeah.
But if he would have stayed,
Well, I'm calling it a pass. Not saying he failed. He passed 100%.
Well, I don't think we would have seen Caden McDonald. I don't think anybody saw that he was going to be like an All-American this year. And does Hero doesn't think he can beat out Edric Houston or Will Smith Jr.? I don't know. I think he should have more faith.
He
in
made the
himself.
best decision for himself, and he played a ton at Texas.
I
mean,
agree.
I can't say he did the wrong thing. As much as I hate seeing him leave, because he was one of the ones I was mad to see transfer. I was like, dang, that guy.
Yeah.
that's
one of the
why I
best
want to call it a
names.
fail because I feel like he could have done the same thing here.
100%, Eric. I think it's a
He
fail.
could have got those same stats playing platoon at Ohio State, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he get as much playing time? I don't know.
I don't think he needs as much playing time because I think he gets just the same type of numbers based on the fact that we have a bigger or a rotation that gets guys in and out more often, and that keeps guys fresher, so they play.
Plus, he
better
probably got
football.
more money to play at Texas. So like, how you gonna
That's
tell
the
me?
thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
he
I
did.
can't call it a failure. You're getting paid and you play a lot for a major program. I can't call it.
And you're going to the NFL and
Yeah,
getting
and
drafted.
he's getting plenty of NFL tape right now. So yeah.
I would have. I remember saying this when Edric Houston went down day one in practice. I remember Chris and I both said, "Wish we wouldn't have lost Hero Canoe."
Canoe.
Yeah,
I was.
I was mad even before that. I was like, dang it, he would have been great in the rotation this year.
Yeah. Kent says he got used against us in the opener. We abused him, but
I don't know
No,
about that, but
he got used against us in the opener,
Yeah.
meaning they played him a
Oh,
lot.
okay. I thought that meant that.
yeah, I was
I'm
about to
pretty
say
sure that's
their
what he's-
defensive line did pretty well against us in the opener.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we only scored 14 points.
We
My
couldn't run the
goodness.
ball. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I think if he opens that offense up, we score more than that. But
Maybe.
All right. From Southeast Ohio, Reed Carrico left and went to West Virginia, where he finished last year with 69 tackles, 8 TFLs, 4.5 sacks, and 1 pass breakup.
That's a major pass.
That's a good year right there for the young man.
That's a big time pass from a guy who, he was a good traditional linebacker, but he was not going to fit and be able to
Knowles
beat out
defense.
these guys with the athleticism that Ohio State had. He was going to be stuck on the depth chart in the 2 deep, 3 deep somewhere. He made a great move by going there. He had a great season. That's definitely a huge
hey,
pass.
real quick question, and you brought up a good point, Chris. Would, and this is, see if you guys want to answer this or not, but would a Katzenmoyer and a Spielman be good in today's defense, given how much you have to cover linebackers and the space? They were
Tight ends.
traditional. They were traditional linebacker, awesome freaking
Yeah.
linebacker. Would they be as good?
Spielman might be tough because he wasn't like a speed demon. Katzenmoyer was a freak of nature, so I
Yeah,
think
he
he
was a
could
freak
play any
athlete.
defense. Yeah.
I think both those guys would probably be defensive ends in today's game.
Probably.
Maybe.
Maybe not maybe not Katzenmoyer, but Spielman.
Spielman, I think, translates into any
Yeah,
era of football because of his mentality and his heart. But let's not forget, when he went to the NFL, he still had one heck of a career, man.
So he,
Katzenmoyer.
NFL.
got hurt. Yeah.
What did Katzenmoyer do in the NFL? He didn't do anything, did he?
Not like
No,
Spielman.
Yeah. He
No,
was off to a good
Katzenmoyer
start,
was
but he got
solid as a
injured.
rookie, and he broke his neck.
Yeah. Yeah. So did Spielman. He had a broken neck too, if I recall correctly.
Late in his
yeah.
career. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching him play for Cleveland in the preseason.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
And-
retire.
I remember telling my dad, I was like, I might actually root for the Browns because Spielman's there. He gave me a look like, are we really going down this road again?
I got my Chris Spielman jersey, and that evening he retired.
Oh.
He knew you got his jersey. That's what happened. And he's like, I can't,
You know,
I can't go this low.
So,
Speaking
hey,
of Spielman, shout out to the late Stephanie Spielman and the Stephanie Spielman Fund, which birthed the Ohio State Cruise for Cancer, which just wrapped up, where Ohio State Buckeye Nation raised another $3 million, breaking an all-time record on the Cruise for Cancer for cancer research over at the James Hospital to OSU. Shout out Buckeye Nation for raising that money, and they honored Ryan Day too. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they all showed up with fake beards on. It was pretty funny. Pretty cool.
I think what we need is for the Pod Squad here to go ahead, send in your super chats to sponsor the team on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer next year.
yeah, if you want my tinfoil hat on that subject, Eric.
On the Cruise for Cancer?
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
I think it's a great thing. Obviously,
Clearly you don't. Yeah.
no, I honestly do. I just think it's a wasted money because I think we've already cured cancer, but nobody wants to cure it. Nobody wants to cure cancer because there's too much money into it.
Ooh.
I think it's a great thing, and you have to do it. but there's no money in the cure. I don't know. Okay, I'm off subject, so sorry about
I
that.
thought you were going to go a completely different, like,
I think there's a lot of things
direction
out
with
there
that.
that way, Bart. To be
I
honest.
do, and I applaud them because I think they have to. But they've how many millions and millions of dollars do you have to get nowhere? And all
Well, they're
these
clearly
years,
getting somewhere. That one guy from Spain actually is possibly on the verge of curing pancreatic cancer.
yeah, because he'll probably end up going missing, just like everybody else who comes up with a huge breakthrough that's going to cost millions of jobs and money. So
That's possible.
I think there is. I think there is a cure out there. I just don't think they want to find it. But that's
All right, let's get back on subject because this
Yeah,
one
sorry.
is going to be incredibly interesting.
Did Les Wexner contribute to the cure?
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You can only keep Corey quiet for so long.
Well, when
And
he
then-
started, I thought it was going to be worse than that. So
All right. Zen Mikowski.
big win for Zen.
Oh, now he didn't. He started the season, then he got benched. And didn't
Yeah,
Does he
how's
have
that
a
a-
national championship ring, Eric?
How does that a win? Come on, no
Does
way.
he have a national championship ring, Eric? This is
has
what you
two
just
of
argued.
them. He has
This is
two
what
of
you
them.
just argued. He is the Robert Ory of collegiate football.
He's like, how many more years of eligibility can he squeeze out of the NCAA? And people are lining up to, dude, $5 million NIL, just come here because you'll win us a national championship. Just be here.
Yeah, I think it was a big win, honestly. He started part of the season. He wasn't going to start at Ohio State either. The guys we got are better. But he fit in in Indiana. He started part of the season. He got himself a championship ring. That's got to be a win for him.
Ooh, Buck Vader says fail.
Well, Buck Vader, even you can be wrong once in a while. It doesn't happen often, but
Yeah,
today
this
it's
isn't
it.
like source based, but so this is opinion based. So I disagree with Buck Vader. I think it's got to call it a win.
Okay.
Well, the biggest thing is I think with the way our offensive line, does he play at Ohio State? He might not start, but does he play? So
He-
is
what-
it a
he
win?
wa-
He stunk when he did play, though.
He was a tackle, right?
So
he wasn't a guard, so you can't just say, he would have replaced Shabola.
yeah.
So I don't think,
I think I could have replaced Shabola.
Schrock
How
played
about-
on the offensive line, all 6'3", 6'4", 110 pounds of him.
Yeah. So Vader said fail. Matt says pass. You three all said pass.
Yep.
I think
Or-
it's a fail, but
Bart failed him? Okay.
well,
All right.
I think he would have the opportunity here that he lost at Indiana. So he went from a backup here to a backup there.
And
So
won a
is he
title.
really doing himself other than the national championship? Obviously,
He
But
went
didn't know-
home.
didn't know
He's
that.
from Indiana.
Yes.
He was on the first ever Indiana national championship team.
But how can you pass him when he didn't play? He would have played the same amount here and there. It's
he
like going
dines
to another
out on
place.
this for the next 20
Well,
years.
Yeah,
He also has one of the coolest names, dude. Zen. How cool
Oh
is
my
that?
yeah.
Eric, that doesn't
Stupidest
matter.
name I've ever heard.
It's probably the stupidest name next to Corey. I mean,
It is pretty bad next to Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Hey.
everybody names Bart. Come on, that's the stupidest name. Although I was named after Bart Starr, so I will have to give my dad that.
All right. Noah Rogers, 33 catches, 441 yards, and 2 touchdowns at NC State last year.
He's transferred again, didn't he?
To South Florida?
Yeah,
No.
I think maybe.
No, I don't think so. No, that's the other Rogers, right?
Bryson
That's
Rodgers.
Bryson. Yeah.
No, I think he's still there. No. He transferred to Alabama, guys.
You know what?
Pass.
I think it's a pass.
Huge
Obviously,
pass.
he got on the field, got recognized, and now he's at one of the major programs in the country. Although he couldn't get, Alabama's great at taking guys that can't even break our starting lineup and put them on the field.
All right, this one's going to fire you guys up. Garrison Smith,
Who?
Who?
kicker. Spent one season at Ohio State in
He
2021.
was a transfer, if I remember right. He came
Transferred out.
From Ball State.
And last year at Florida Atlantic was 16 of 19 on field goals and a perfect 36 of 36 at extra points with a long of 49 yards.
So basically,
Pass for him, I
Well,
guess.
pass for him. F
Just-
for F fail for Ohio State.
basically,
Why did it
Jaden
fail for
Fielding
his?
minus a
Was
couple
he making pressure kicks at Florida Atlantic? I mean,
Yeah, come on.
Every kick at Florida Atlantic's a pressure kick.
Oh, what was
why
Jaden
nobody would see it?
What was Jaden Fielding last year?
16 and 19, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, he's about
So
the
exact same stats. I mean, but yeah,
can't make a pressure kick is all. Yeah, it's his big
yeah.
thing.
same. You're
that
crossing your
little thing.
fingers if it's more than 25 yards, though.
Why can't we get a kicker to kick over 50 yards? That would
We
be
do
awesome.
now.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen him make any yet.
Well, we saw him make it
did.
at Baylor.
What do you mean we did, Eric?
Well, I mean, he's at Ohio State now. Does he automatically suck?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He might. That might be our curse.
Here's another name.
It's all
This
'cause
guy
of
hasn't been at
Wexner.
Ohio State for a long time, but he was, help me remember, I think he was a 5-star. J.K. Johnson, cornerback.
He was up there. It was a
He's-
4-star, but he wasn't. But he was very highly rated.
If I didn't we beat Clemson out for him, and that was like a
No, I
huge
thought we beat
recruiting
Bama
win?
for him.
Bama.
Was it Bama?
Yeah.
Woo! Well, here's what he did last year: 16 tackles, 2 pass breakups for Oklahoma State. What? He went from Ohio State to sitting the bench at LSU to Oklahoma State, was rewarded a 6-year of eligibility, and will be spending that 6 year in Florida at Florida Atlantic this year.
Fail.
He had too much clothes that had OSU on them. He wanted to reuse them. So
Yeah, but it was that nasty orange.
They're like, why are you wearing a red OSU? It's
you think he
orange.
just
What are you
faded it?
talking about?
yeah, I'm colorblind. What are you talking about?
He threw a little bleach in the laundry. With it. No, that's a fail to me. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he didn't do anything here. He didn't do anything there.
We got Field of Dreams Corey down in the right.
You leave, you will suck.
It's got to
All
be
right.
a fail. Yeah.
Jaden Ballard.
Why would you transfer to Wisconsin as a receiver? First of all,
He likes to block.
That was that you should be failed simply on that. I don't even know what his stats were, Eric, but you should be failed on the fact that as a receiver, you transferred to Wisconsin.
Yep.
Luke
Why-
Fickle, baby.
Why
I
is a
love Fickle. He doesn't throw
Fail.
the ball.
It's a fail.
Do you know what his? Do you want to hear his stats?
Don't
Yeah.
even care.
7 catches, 150 yards.
That's the biggest fail of
That's
the
the
list.
biggest fail yet.
hey,
Oh
let
no,
me ask,
there's one more worse.
let me ask you
Is
guys
it the
a question
former
real quick.
backup quarterback?
We're getting there.
Let me ask you a question. Is Max Clare a fail? With using Chris's logic, why as a tight end would you transfer to Ohio State?
Well, at least you can win
Claire
at
put
Ohio
up
State.
numbers.
Yeah, but he left a place that he put up a lot bigger numbers. So is that a
Well,
fail?
yeah, because he's the only guy on a team of 100 guys who can catch the ball.
That's why I'm asking. Is it a pass or a fail for him?
That's a good
Now
question.
you guys act like he
to
had.
get to a better program, though, that's the thing.
He only had 8 less receptions this year than he did at Purdue.
Oh, that's a pass on easy.
Yeah.
That was it. Everybody acts like, oh my
At
gosh,
a bigger program. At a
was
program that
terrible.
competes.
With more weapons to get the ball from him. Yeah.
yeah,
so-
with
Yeah.
a team that had Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate on it.
Now, Jeremiah Smith to Miami, is that a pass or a fail?
Shut up, Corey.
Let's go. Is it a pass for a fail for Quincy Porter or Mylan?
All right, here we go.
I don't know. Milan didn't go to college or class, apparently. so
You
I don't know
all
if he
said
got
Jaden.
a fail.
You all said Jaden Ballard was bad. Listen to this. Kojo Antwi. You all remember him?
He went to Colorado State, didn't he?
Yeah, where he got 8 catches for 48 yards.
That's a bigger pass than Ballard.
How?
Because he would have got 0 catches for 0 yards here.
Because he was smart enough to go to a conference where they threw the ball.
Yeah, at least they throw the ball at Colorado.
He had
He's-
he had one more catch than Ballard, but had 100 yards less and no touchdowns.
Actually, any wide receiver that transfers out of Ohio State, just call it a fail.
No,
Because,
I mean,
because the 8th best wide receiver at Ohio State is better than being the starting wide receiver at Colorado State. or Wisconsin.
That's got
All
to go
right.
on the names of great names, isn't it, Eric? Kojo?
Oh, that's a good name.
Cujo, that would call
Um, here's another name. I remember when this guy left, there was a lot of uh, poop slinging. Cedric Hawkins Jr. He
Oh,
left and went to South Florida last year, where he had 13 tackles, and now Brian Hartline's his head coach.
I don't know who that is. So.
Well,
Safety.
if he made enemies leaving the locker room, he's probably not in a good situation right now. But
I'd say fail.
fail. Yeah.
Yep. Fail.
Okay. I don't want to bring up poor
Kerry
Cameron
Combs going to
Martinez.
Michigan. Pass or fail?
All right, here we go. Let's talk quarterbacks.
Tony Alford. Pass or fail?
Devin Brown, 4 of 7 passing for 48 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 carries, negative 15 yards at Cal.
That dude was absolutely asked to leave. I don't care what anybody says.
I would say that's a fail, Eric,
Yeah.
because being our scout team quarterback is better than that. He went and lost out to a true freshman out there for the starting job, didn't he?
And he deserved to lose out to this true freshman, as we've seen. I mean, this is a guy Nevada said would be a Heisman winner if he were to start at Ohio State. I mean,
you've never seen a true freshman like him before, Corey.
That's true. I swear, I understood that people wanted to see him above Kyle McCord. I did understand it, but I never understood the Devin Brown hype. I'd never seen a play where I'm like, holy smokes, that dude's got talent. Honestly, I didn't expect anything when he left. I was kind of hoping for him to do okay, but then he got beat up by freshmen. Now he's at Weber State, whatever it is. This is a massive fail. It's just like, this might be, this is bigger fail than Ballard.
Yeah, this is a huge fail.
Yeah.
He might have had better stats when he was here at Ohio State, because I remember him throwing.
He did.
In mop-up duty, he would have had better stats. Yep.
Didn't he have a touchdown pass in like a huge game of ours?
But you know what? He'd have been
one play.
Yeah, Michigan State,
Purdue,
where he threw a terrible pass to Jeremiah Smith, who had to Superman that thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, he could have. But last year, he would have been the third string. He wasn't beating out Keno's last year. So.
Yeah, he had much better stats.
He also had a bum ankle.
All the time.
He burned the boats. Remember that? Burned the boats. I'm all in.
Them.
And then he built a life raft, and it drifted him to Port Cal, where he was like, "This is terrible." So he goes to Weber State now, like you said, Corey. His head coach, former high school head coach.
So that's the only person who would take him.
But hey, you think about this. He did inform us about all the people living in their mother's basements.
That's good.
Did he? No, he did. Zach Smith really say Devin
I think
Brown
Zach
was going
says
to
some
win
things
Heisman?
just to get more people riled up. But the Nevada absolutely said it on Black Eye Scoop.
Yeah. Jiminy Christmas. Wow. Okay. Aaron Nolan.
Fail.
2 of 3 passing, 13 yards, 1 carry for 4 yards, and has transferred once again.
Massive fail.
Failure.
And this is another. I feel really bad for this because I really like this kid. I
loved
really
his
did.
dad. His dad would show up all the time on our show.
Great guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad was a great guy. He was maybe the biggest believer in trust the process.
Well, he didn't trust the process, and that might be why he failed.
Yeah.
Remember when everybody said, "Don't take Julian Sain because you'll offend Aaron Nolan"? Man, what a mess! Yeah. How about everybody just shut up and let the coaches do their job?
Here's the thing: I don't know what Julian Sain coming in didn't mess up Aaron Nolan a little bit.
It may have. But...
Psychologically, I think it may have broken.
Well, he had issues from the word go.
Yeah.
Remember, he was homesick bad,
yes.
and then he went through a little adjustment period going to college where he was having trouble adjusting. I think it was good for him to get closer to home. I agree with that. Now he's very close to home because he's going to be in Memphis. So, but yeah, I was a huge.
Putting together a nice little team of former Buckeyes there, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Maybe. I mean, who knows how good Aaron Noland is?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to have to compete for the starting job with Marcus Stokes. So
Well, in that case, I mean, who the heck is Marcus Stokes?
transfer from West Florida.
Oh, well, in that case, I know who he
Oh,
is.
yeah. Oh, it's West Florida, Corey. Don't you? I mean, yeah,
You know what? I've been slacking. Sorry.
yeah.
I got a couple more names and then we'll be done.
Okay.
I love this name. I love the kid.
Chris
Was
Wiles.
so upset he got hurt.
I bet I know it already. You
It's
can go
Kyle
Jaden Bonsu.
Nope. TC Caffey.
Yes.
Oh, the running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
dude-
walk-on running back.
Where'd he go?
One great run, and he
Oh.
just pulled people over. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
That I was at that game and
Were you
it
really?
was
Yes, we
awesome.
were.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
He ended up going to Youngstown State.
Pass.
Well, he had 5 carries for 39 yards. That's it.
Fail.
Pass.
He played in just 2 games and then hurt again.
He
oh
got
well.
Oh, so he got hurt.
his one play at Ohio State is double the numbers he had last season at Youngstown State.
I can't imagine a guy built like that could not thrive at Youngstown State.
Well, he was a big physical, tough kid, but he just, sometimes the body just isn't willing.
Hey
Yeah.
man, Youngstown State's legit.
Did he
Yeah.
get an actual scholarship at Youngstown? Because he's a walk on Ohio State, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
Well, then that's pass. He's getting his
Yeah.
That's a
college
win
paid
for him. He doesn't have any student loan debt.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, that's what we're breaking this down to now, because he obviously isn't very good. It is what it is. Go get your education for free.
We don't know if he's very good because the guy just keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to get an opportunity at Ohio State, obviously. So
I don't
All right,
know.
well-
The way our running back room was last year, it was like, hey, who's up next?
All
Until
right.
Bo Jackson settled in at least.
I have talked about this next guy multiple times because I was mad that we recruited him.
Kyle McCord.
Joe Royer,
The Fro?
the white man Afro. What was it? Who? It was Stover, Cade Stover, who had like the quote of the day in the spring was like, Joe Royer has the sweetest white man Afro I've ever seen. He said something like that. Royer ended up last year with 29 catches, 416 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Pass.
He was actually 3rd team All Big 12 last year.
Pass.
That's a pass. But like you said, Eric, recruiting him was a major fail on the part of Ohio State because he was in the same recruiting class as Lachey, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, Coach Lachey's boy, or Jim Lachey, player Lachey.
Lachey made a better decision going to Iowa if you're going to be a tight end. Let's be real.
Probably
Corey,
did.
don't say that, Corey.
It's
He's
true.
He's not
It's
wrong,
true.
Eric. Let's face it.
It's true.
No,
If
He
you want to
is-
develop as a tight end, you go one of 2
No.
places. And I'm not going to say the name of the other one.
no, you guys are so wrong on this.
No, I'm right. It's okay.
He is a legendary Buckeye son who
Yep.
wanted to be a Buckeye, and
Yep.
Ryan Day didn't recruit him.
And he should have been for that fact. However, Corey is right. If you're looking to get developed, and I can't believe I said that. Corey's right.
You got to watch
But-
his mouth. That was soap now.
But the fact is, if you're going to develop as a tight end and have the aspirations to play in the NFL, you don't come here first. You just don't. You may come here later like Max Clare did, but you don't come here first.
And I don't. Maybe Lachey told Ryan Day, "Hey, we're not coming here," because he knows the program better than anybody else. It's like, I'm gonna go to where my son's gonna get developed because he wants his son to succeed. I don't know if he could have thought he could have done that here at Ohio State.
Of course he could have done it here. I'm with Vader on this one. I'm still mad about this.
Yeah,
to
well,
this
y'all
day.
letting personal bias cloud the actual discussion. That's the problem. Did he make a good decision by leaving? Yes, and he obviously did better by leaving.
100%.
Did he play in the NFL last year?
Who, Royer?
No.
Lachey.
Lachey.
I don't know.
Did he get drafted?
I think he got drafted.
He was drafted.
Oh, man, you going to make me look this up?
I got it.
Luke
Corey,
Lachey.
just sit here and let them do it.
Let's see what he did last year.
He was with the Texans.
So
Maybe
he's
he-
back up
he-
Stover.
I'm kind of a Buckeye.
Him and Stover. Him and Stover. Did nothing last year. He was a
Did he
seventh
get hurt?
round pick.
Yeah.
No stats his first year.
Interesting. Well,
That was that great Iowa development that he got there.
Here you go, Bart, though.
they
The
still have a
best
better
part about
history of
it-
developing tight ends than we do.
As he's picked up with pick number 255 in the draft, which originally belonged to the Cleveland Browns and was given up during the Deshaun Watson trade.
Yeah. If we would have
Well-
got him, we would have got Harold Fannin, and Harold Fannin.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is the best way to end this show. OSU is not tight end university yet, but given our aptitude to play 12 and 13 man personnel, we're going to make it tight end university, baby. That's what's going to happen with Arthur Smith. You mark it down, everybody. Tight end U
For the
right here
1 year
at
that
Ohio
he's
State.
here, yes.
Is that your prediction?
1 year and gone. Yep.
I think he's going to enjoy it like Matt Patricia does and stay. He's got the money. He doesn't really need that stuff. He's going to find out where he's happy at. And
The fact that we're letting these guys not recruit is a bonus. I'll give you that, Bart, for sure. Because we're telling them you can just make the money and just develop college kids and develop these cool offenses that most college defenses can't possibly fathom. So
And we'll send James and Coach Locke out to do all the recruiting. They've got the personality.
mm-hmm.
I mean, how can you fail with Julian Sayin and Bo Jackson and Jeremiah Smith? I mean, he's guaranteed.
Well, Heartline almost did it. So
Tight
by
end U,
standards, he
baby.
did.
here's a question for you: Will Julian Sand and Jeremiah Smith and Bo Jackson transfer now that Wexner's money is no longer there?
Eric says no. So there you go. He said no. Yeah.
When the YouTube algorithm picks up this show, we might no longer have a YouTube channel. They're just gonna
This is my quest. Yes.
blow up the entire channel. The algorithm's not gonna know who in the world to send this out to. It's gonna be a cluster, to say the least. Well, this was a lot of fun playing a little pass fail with the former Ohio State Buckeyes who ended the transfer portal. Story, here's the end of the story here. Sometimes for these guys, it does work out for them. But for the majority of them, I didn't even do the entire list. Listen to some of these names that did nothing. Jaden Bonsu, George Fitzpatrick, Miles Walker, Keon Grays, Kai Stokes, Calvin Simpson Hunt, Nigel Glover. All of these guys basically had no stats at all, basically. It's just 5 tackles, 4 tackles, 2 tackles, didn't start. I mean, just nothing.
Does that say more on them, or does it say more on our recruiting that we're just not recruiting great players? Because if you come to Ohio State, you should be able to play anywhere else and be able
Facts.
to crack their lineup. If they're not going somewhere else, then we over-recruited them or misread them.
That's a great point, Bart. That, I think, is a bigger indictment on our program and our recruiting process than it is on these kids.
Yep, 100%.
Corey, you have any thoughts on that?
Nah.
Nah.
It's also an indictment on all these recruiting services
Yeah.
that like to throw out 5 stars for cash.
I
That's
think
why you want to go over to Patreon and check out our recruiting program.
that's a good plug, Chris. I'll give you that. If I had any kind of thought, I would say that this is pretty commonplace with most major programs.
Yeah, I remember Purdue was all excited. I watched their episode when they got a kid from Georgia and a kid from Alabama in the transfer portal, and they were just like, "Yeah, these guys." And I'm thinking, maybe not, and they didn't even end up playing.
It's almost like I think Don said, "Here, what about Bo Atkinson? He was a big fail to me." I mean, the guy came in, had high accolades, almost All-American stuff, and came in and just.
Well, wait. I'm sorry. I've got to address this. There it is. Are you kidding me? The university that gave us Jerry Sandusky is upset or disappointed in Ohio. Are you kidding me?
I'm proud that he actually knew what is east, west, and north and south was.
Well,
That's,
that first and
I'm
foremost, that's impressive.
I'm really disappointed that he hasn't changed his name to Iowa State Man yet. Sports Talk. That's what I mean.
Maybe
Come
that's the
on.
state to the west that he's disappointed in.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's just traveling way. I'm disappointed in that state to the west that brought their entire coaching staff and players over here. Yeah. Recruiting services are not dead. You just aren't listening to the right ones. Right, Chris?
That's right. That's absolutely right. All you got to do is go over to our Patreon, listen to what Eric and Mika, Vader, when Eric and I cover the videos, we got the recruiting down. Come over and listen to us on Patreon so you really know what's going on.
Thanks for coming in, everybody. We appreciate that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already. Good crowd tonight. We appreciate you all swinging by. I'll have a video for you all tomorrow if my voice holds up, and then we will be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, followed by the Super Secret Show over on Patreon at 9 o'clock. So thank you again, everybody. I know tonight's topic was a difficult one, but it was one that I felt we needed to have. And I'll be honest, I think we might be the first Ohio State football podcast that's actually really covered it. So I'm kind of proud of that we had the maturity level to do that. Now,
well, that eliminates most of them right there.
Yeah, I know. That's true. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Till next time, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. Sing Carmen High with all your heart. You all know what to do. OH.
I
I know.
Go Bucks and go Krogering.